Yo, what is up, people? This is Zero, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on the holiday Juneteenth. Yeah, before you get mad at the thumbnail. I don't know. Probably some people probably will. Maybe they won't. Who knows? You never know on this on the internet. So yeah, the reason I put the thumbnail way I did, I know a lot of people, celebrate Juneteenth, and that's fine. I don't really have too much problem with people celebrate the holidays, but you should know what you're celebrating. That's kind of like my thing. And I think everybody knows me. I'm pretty big on on Black history and Black culture. And there's very few holidays I actually celebrate. Like I say, probably the holiday I probably celebrate maybe like Martin Luther King's actual birthday, the 15th. Malcolm X Day. I don't know, so that's somebody. I would say Marcus Garvey Day, but I really don't celebrate that much. And Kwanzaa. So to the Juneteenth, and I know like yeah, it's the day of freedom and all that. But the thing about it is, Juneteenth wasn't actually, the wasn't actually the day people got free. I mean, that was the day the slaves thought they were free, and the truth of the matter is, it's really more just it's more about the Emancipation Proclamation, like taking effect, fully taking effect, and the slaves thought they were getting free, but of course they like yeah, it frees you, but if you want to keep this freedom, you got to fight for the union, which slaves like yeah, I got this plantation, I don't want to go back down there, so I'll go and fight with them because they promised us a better life. Which of course we read history that never really came, but the thing about the Emancipation Proclamation is, yeah, like I said, it didn't actually free the slaves. It made slaves go from private property to public property because if you really think about it, like slaves were private property. They were considered property, even though human beings aren't really property. And and the thing about the word, I mean, the thing about the word emancipation, which I'm gonna get to in a minute, but the thing about it was Emancipation Proclamation wasn't what actually freed the slaves. It was actually the 13th Amendment. Supposedly, it's kind of conditional. Like it's pretty much like 13th Amendment, like yeah, you're free unless you get locked up. Then when you're back in slavery. That's like kind of like when you see people who were getting locked up, they always, dealing with a whole bunch of stuff, even when they are trying to get on the right path because it's that slave system. So think about the think about the word emancipation. Like people, of course, you Google it and say, "Oh, it's active free and whatever." But I actually remember reading the origin of the word emancipation, which meant which came from I think the French word. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I think it's emancipare, and that meant the changing of ownership. That's literally what it said, the changing of ownership. Which I was like, oh, when that term came up on it, hey, Miss Parker, how you doing, Miss Parker? Put your phone there. I said, no, you gonna walk up in here. I wonder if that one person can't get walking up in here. But yeah, like the term literally meant to change the ownership. So that's that's why I said like like I didn't get why black people actually celebrate all that because it didn't actually signify freedom. I mean, it's kind of like with the child like they get to a certain age they can declare emancipation. I think they got to get permission It's like God had to get permission to emancipate or something like that, which it kind of makes them. I'm doing well, but it kind of makes them think that kind of gives them like the I guess the freedom of an adult, but you're still a a minor in the eyes of the law. I don't know if that really just kind of just, but if it says will be free, but I think it just really just makes that child a ward of the state, which pretty much kind of makes you the property of the government. If I'm correct on how that, if about the the guardian sign over rights over the government, because I mean, who else do you sign them over to? I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So like when I see it, and I try to find the original meaning on Google, and yeah, Google didn't have in that. I think I remember seeing it before and it had it, but you know how then that be like with certain things, they just hide certain stuff. Like even with 13th Amendment, like how it is now. Yeah, it's meant to put you back into slavery. It's kind of like the act of Civil Rights Act of 1965, which was supposed to give black people more freedom, but it actually didn't give people, it actually give black people that much freedom at all. But I think they can, but I mean, but you're still considered I think you still, I mean, you're still it's still a minor, so I'm pretty sure like you probably could, but of course you can't. If you ain't considered a legal age, you ain't gonna be able to get no cigarettes or anything like that. But I think you can, but like I said, I'm not too clear, sure on that, but 'cause I have time to look that up. But yeah, I think you can. But yeah, by like 13 minutes, I remember talking about it on my old channel about how the original 13th Amendment had like 20 articles instead of the two articles that you see now, which were a lot more fair than what the current one was. I mean, it did actually, and like that whole 40 acres and new, they did actually promise some land, but like the way the court is set up, you think they were talking about the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which really means which I mean, if you look at it that way, yeah, of course you would think, oh, they ain't really give us nothing. But the way they were talking about it was like all landmass connected together, which really would have just gave like pretty much like the Appalachian Mountains and all that. Yeah, I believe I believe that that they do it. That they relinquish their rights over to the government. I mean, they should be able to. I mean, it wouldn't make no sense for them to do that and then just put them out in the street. If they can live on their own, I don't see no reason why they can't go and get an apartment. It don't make no sense if you did that. But yeah, but the crazy thing about it was like when they had the uh the 13 men with the 20 articles, they had it when Lincoln was alive, but once Lincoln was assassinated, all of a sudden that 13 amendment disappeared for a few years. And when it came back, that's the one we got now. And the interesting thing about like that, they said like all the slaves knew about this Emancipation Proclamation, which is actually pretty untrue, because there were actually a lot of slaves that didn't know anything about that or the 13th Amendment that was still living on plantation, unaware of anything. And there was a sister that wrote a book on, I can't think of her name, but like she did like a whole lot of research on that with some of the members of the I think it was like the Muhammad Study Group, was like members of the NOI, and they pretty much did a lot of research on that. She actually got to meet some some black folks that actually were slaves up until the 1900s, and like when you talk to them, they were actually kind of afraid to talk about it. They worried that they might get put back into slavery or something like that. I was kind of like interested, and I think the name of the book is called "Slavery in the 20th Century." I think that was the name of the book, which I need to get that myself, but if I can find it. But yeah, that's I mean pretty much what it is, and like even with like Juneteenth, like now like the federal holiday. I mean, you know why they made it the holiday, right? It's pretty much to get black folks to stop talking about reparations for a minute, because black folks been really been on the government about these reparations. So they pretty much just saying, hey, give them a holiday. Let's shut them up. They'll be happy for a minute. Because I mean, I mean, if you don't know about like who the current president is, this is like this is old school racist right here. Yeah, he might not hung any black folks or anything like that, but he definitely put in he actually yeah, he definitely put in laws that made our lives made our lives worse, like the crime bill of '94, which kind of increased the amount of police and helped the prison the for-profit prison, so the prison industry, so locking up more black people, you know more of that slavery. And I mean he was a racist. Like his mentor was an actual Klan member, like Robert Byrd. That was his mentor. You can actually look that up. They ain't hiding none of this stuff. Cause I was like saying, well, if you go try to say, well, there's a day that black people were free. I said, why did you put it on 13 minutes? The day 13 minutes was, even though that's a lot too, but that would make more sense than the Emancipation Proclamation, because I mean let's just keep it real. I mean, the Emancipation Proclamation was never meant to free slaves. It was only a tactic used by Lincoln to take away the South's main force, which they would use the slaves to fight the war. They took a lot of their force, so started taking down their forces, and now they brought them on their side, and that was how they won. But I mean, if I was like a slave and they were talking about, oh yeah, you're free, I don't get why they just didn't run up to Canada, but that's just me. 'Cause at least in Canada, you would have got treated a lot better. Because of course, we know. I mean, if you know anything about history, you know that slaves weren't very very well treated after the Civil War. Matter of fact, they couldn't even really get jobs like that because white people in the North didn't want them up there. So so then they had no choice but to go right back to those plantations. But this time they had to pay them, but pretty much living the same life, but they just got paid. I mean, I guess they they need to beat them this time because they weren't gonna be going nowhere. So pretty much just like a job where you get to get to live there, I guess. But yeah, I mean it's just so much attack from that because I mean, that's kind of like why I don't celebrate it. But then I think about it. I remember for like, for black people really started catching on to Juneteenth. I remember seeing white people, hold Juneteenth celebration, which I was like, kind of getting that, that Scooby look like Ruh, because I'm like, because I mean, before I found out what it was, I thought it was, I didn't think it was a black holiday or supposed to be a black holiday anyway. All right, I'm probably about to go in a minute, but yeah, but thank you for coming through, and yeah, yeah. So yeah, thank you for coming through, and yeah, so yeah, like I said, when I seen that, I was like just kind of wondering, it's kind of weird, and I know there's like people that like think that that this is like kind of a win for black people, but it really ain't. It's kind of like another tactic to keep black people pacified. You know, have them think they did something without actually doing anything. Oh, dang, my bad. I'm always putting in the charge and I'm hitting stuff, but it pretty much that's I think that's pretty much what I gotta say about it because it's just a holiday. That's I know I'm just kind of reiterating, but yeah, I mean, if you celebrate it, like I mean, it's fine. But just understand, that this holiday is really just another way of keeping you trying to keep you under control. Like, cause I see holidays, and I don't think nobody will get no day off from this holiday. Maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. Cause like they got Martin Luther King Day, and I remember still having to work on Martin Luther King Day. Them business say F Martin Luther King, you still working. I ain't get no time to have no no optional. Okay, you get time to have, but you can still come and work. No, they say, hey, Martin Luther King Day, you ain't come to work. It ain't no holiday. But they'll put like holidays like Columbus Day. I don't even know why they still got Columbus Day as a holiday because what did he do except like kill and pillage a lot of places? Yeah, yeah, he like kill and pillage a lot of people, kill people, commit genocide, and do all that. Yeah, he's a great guy, but I think I'm going to end it here. But y'all tell me y'all thoughts on it because I think I kind of just I kind of just kept going a little bit, even though I think I put out all my thoughts on it. But if you're interested in like seeing the original 13th Amendment, I could either put the link, yeah, I put the link in there and just have you show where exactly it is, but show you how to get to it, or try to just get the actual page, so you don't have to go through all the go through the whole process. Because there's a website that did a lot of like the process of showing you like how to look at it, how to find it, and of course, I guess after a while, I guess that website kind of seen people going and looking into it. Say like way too many people go look into it, so they try to trick people and try to change certain things, so you can't exactly find it unless you know what you're looking for. Which I mean, if you wanted to you know to really just get them and not just get them in there, you could just use the Freedom of Information Act and ask and have the government send you that amendment. Like they have to do it. They can't hide that from you. Now they might not tell you, It might not just come out and tell you like, yeah, we got it, but if you want to know, they got to give it to you. So don't think they. I mean, a lot of things government do, but that's one thing they have to do. They have to give you that information if you ask for it. Like I said, Freedom of Information Act has definitely changed the game. Why you think they have like why you think like certain information about like certain stuff like especially like cases and all that, and you hear about them using the Freedom of Information Act to get this information. Same concept, same thing. But but yeah, if y'all interested in it, let me know. Oh shoot, I forgot to add. I'm about to put the bad on here. I've been talking all the time to forget to put the bad on here. Yeah. So yeah. And like I said, if you're interested in it, either I can do a video on it or I can just put the link down there so you can read for yourself and see what they kept from you. Because I mean, even if you Google it, they gonna be lying and saying that ain't actually true. It's just made up, even though it's in the Library of Congress. But when they want to keep lying about it, so it is what it is. So I guess, yeah, I guess that's it. So wholeness and not vibrations, y'all. I hope you have a great day and enjoy your day.